Welcome back to the weekly recap. I'm Matt Wacker. Zombies in your neighborhood? Lebanon author Will Peden imagines that scenario in his new book series, Triptans Eve. The second book is due out in December, continuing the apocalyptic saga set in mid-Missouri. Peden is a U.S. Marine veteran and volunteer fighter who's been writing since 2000. Leanne met up with him at Lebanon Books to discuss his newest series.
On and off, I've been writing since I was probably 10, 11, so close to 20 years. I started doing role play, stuff like that with D&D. There was a big craze with wrestling e-federations online and stuff of that nature. I used to do all that as a kid, and then my wrestling background, being behind the scenes, I did some stuff that way in magazines, articles here and there, and then it's just kind of slowly grown and grown until I can finally start getting series and stuff out.
What inspired you to write this particular book or this particular series?
Being a veteran myself and from this area, I'm a zombie fanatic. So I've like zombies. This area is perfect for it. This book is actually based right here around the Ozarks of Missouri. It starts here in Lebanon and ends up right there, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. So I kind of took some of the military aspects of things I've seen, being a firefighter, some of the stuff I've seen that can help make it graphically better for the readers. And then I'm a zombie fan, and zombies, the latest craze right now, is like be perfect to make a zombie apocalypse in the Ozarks.
So people around here will find familiar settings in this book.
Yes, basically what I did was take this book, and a zombie apocalypse has happened now, basically. And you're following it in the first person, so you're reading through the eyes of Cordell Banks, the main character, and experiencing what he experiences. You can drive down the road and see certain landmarks and certain locations and follow scenes that are in the book.
Well, I noticed this says book 1, which implies that there are more. Tell us about that.
Yes, it's actually a plan for at least 3 in the series. Book 2 is currently with the editor. I'm shooting for around the first of the year release date, if everything goes correctly. Book 2 is called Aftermath, and there's going to be a major scene in Jeff City that's going to lead into book 3.
Tell us about your reader.
Basically, anybody. If you like zombies, obviously it's going to be best for you. If you're a prepper, it's got some good ideas, good things like that. It takes survival instincts if you're a survivalist. So basically anybody of all ages. I mean, I've even killed my grandmother in the book, so.
Uh-oh. Let's hope she's not watching right now.
I'd be all right. I've already gotten that argument from her.
Matt, you heard it here. Pick up Soldiers of Zed locally or on Amazon.com.
Police in Sullivan responded to multiple reports of, quote, bizarre human behavior over the weekend, likely the result of the synthetic drug Flakka. People barking like dogs, running nude through the streets, breaking into homes and businesses, and one report of someone stripping naked to shower in fountain water. Flakka provides a stimulant comparable to cocaine, but is much more dangerous. It can alter brain chemistry to the point where its users can't control their thoughts or actions. A LaQuay man has been arrested for stealing candy at gunpoint. Kaylin Martinez was found by Waynesville police following a description provided by the homeowner, who said Martinez entered her residence when her back was turned and pointed a pellet gun at her. He took the candy and demanded pain pills and cash. A struggle ensued and Martinez fled, but was later found with a small box of Milk Duds in his pocket, matching the candy the victim was distributing. Bond is set for $100,000. On the flip side, every Halloween, several churches in the Lebanon area gather on 2nd Street to create a lighthearted evening for the community called the 2nd Street Block Party. Whether you dress up or not, they welcome you with entertainment, hot cocoa, and fellowship.
My name is Kenneth Rogers. They call me Kenny Rogers. And the name of this event is 2nd Street Block Party. We want to do it on the 31st. This is a night the kids are going to be out. We want to have a safe environment for the children. We want to spread the gospel, and doing that through just loving people. We're not necessarily pushing any denomination or any church. Matter of fact, the more the churches, the better. But the thing is, the people need to be in a family environment and a safe environment for their kids on Halloween. We have done this for 5 years, and we've picked up churches off and on over the years, and we just keep growing, and hopefully it just gets bigger and better. We're representing quite a few churches out here. We got Second Baptist, First Assembly, Life Point, First Methodist Church, Taylor Street Full Gospel. Across the street we have a movie and games. At the other end there's 2 bounce houses. On this side we have crafts, face painting, food, hot chocolate, lots of candy, sodas, hot dogs. This is all donated and it's all free to the people, and the kids can come and get as much as they want unless we run out.
A 60-year-old Rolla man was the victim of a fatal hit and run in Phelps County on November 2nd. Bobby Cooley was walking along Highway CC 2 miles west of Highway 63 when he was struck by an unknown driver and left for dead. Police are still reviewing evidence to gain a description of the vehicle. Contact Troop I if you have any information. 35-year-old Levi Gunter has been arrested on a Howell County charge of first-degree domestic assault after allegedly punching his girlfriend in the face repeatedly, slamming her head against a car door window, and shoving her out of a moving car before striking her with it. The probable cause statement shows a witness who met a red car traveling at a high rate of speed along County Road 7160 that forced his vehicle off the road. The witness then noticed the victim in the road and called 911. She was ultimately transported to Cox South Hospital in Springfield. West Plains High School held their annual Veterans Day ceremony this morning, which included the unveiling of a new memorial in the school's front lawn. The memorial is a student-led project dedicated to those who have served in the armed forces and who've made the ultimate sacrifice. I'm going to take a quick break, but when I come back, I'll have a special segment featuring your 2017 high school football district champions. Keep it here. The weekly recap is brought to you by Bryce Chopper, cooking from scratch, the UPS store of Rolla, Bayard Dodge in West Plains, and the Ozarks Medical Center. It's the one-time only return of the Extra Point this week, as we feature a pair of football teams that have advanced to state quarterfinal action. First up, after defeating the Ozark Tigers for their first district championship since 2011, the Lebanon Yellow Jackets are headed to O'Fallon for a date with the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers. We caught up with head coach Will Christian and star running back John Barry before Tuesday's practice to discuss Lebanon's record-breaking success.
Coach, how do you motivate this team to so much success?
Well, it's certainly not just me. I think it takes the young men being very internally motivated. There's a lot of work put into every high school football team. I think ours is one that invests a lot throughout the year. And, of course, I'm a big believer that the more that you invest in something, the more that it's worth. And obviously to our young men and all of our coaching staff and all folks involved in our program, it's a big deal. And so you get in a district championship game like we were in last Friday night, I have no doubts that all involved are going to pour out everything that they have into it because of all that they've put down and put forth before that to get to that spot.
What was going through your mind when you broke the rushing records in the game with Branson?
Going through my mind was it's not over yet. We still got a lot more games. We have a lot more games to play because the rushing record isn't really that important to me because it's just an achievement along the way through Lebanon history right now, and all the credit would go to my O-linemen because without them, I wouldn't be anything I am.
How has Coach Christian influenced your career as a football player and also you as a person?
Coach C has instilled in us that to never give up, and with hard work, you can accomplish almost anything you want.
Well, what's unique about this year or your strategy that's made this team so successful?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's anything, that I would say is any more unique than any other. Each year has its own story, and some of them obviously, don't end exactly like we want. But when we reflect on some of them, they're still all good. This one, uniquely enough, I think, throughout the course of this year, we've had some valleys and we've had some peaks, and what we've tried really hard is to get this team to play at its very best when it matters the most, and certainly right now I feel like that we're doing that.
So what's important about this Yellow Jacket team? What has this team meant to you, and how do you feel it's different from, say, other high school football teams?
Well, I think this team that we're all really, really close to each other. We've all been friends. We've all played mind-to-minds junior high and all the way through up until now, and we all know what it means because it's slowly coming down to an end, and we don't want it to end yet, and we just want to keep fighting until we can.
You certainly have some great fans in this city. How does it feel to be a coach right here in Lebanon, Missouri?
Oh, it's awesome. We've got a tremendously supportive community. I give you an example. Today we had a group of them that were raising some money for charter buses for our program, and just so giving. This community, obviously this turf that we stand on right now was donated by generosity in this community, and that scoreboard behind us. And so this is a community that loves its kids and loves all of its sports, but I think it definitely loves its high school football quite a bit as well.
Lebanon travels to O'Fallon on Saturday in the second of a special Price Chopper Game of the Week doubleheader. The night before, our Fidelity crew will present the Game of the Week live from Lions Memorial Field, where the Rolla Bulldogs will host the Parkway Central Colts. Rolla earned their first district championship in 11 years with a win over Borgia, and will appear in only their second state quarterfinal in school history. Bulldog pride is high in the city of Rolla right now, and we asked coach and quarterback how they feel about that.
Coach, other than your obvious coaching style and leadership over the last 2 years, what do you think is the biggest reason for the turnaround in this ball club?
Well, a couple things. One, we definitely have a lot of experience from last year, familiarity with the systems, both offensively and defensively. So that's one of the reasons. Great leadership by our seniors. They've done an outstanding job last off season, all the way through this season, taking each game one by one, just continually not letting, when we'd lose, not letting that bother them, or if we won, not really taking that too big, and just keeping every game the same. And they did a really good job, and they continue to do a good job of just trying to get better each day.
Josh, you make a lot of touchdowns for a quarterback. So what is going through your mind when you're running down that field and you realize you're going to make it into the end zone?
Kind of at that point, it's just a great feeling. But it all starts up front with our offensive line just getting the blocks done, and our receivers just getting on those blocks on the edges. And from there on, I just run down the field and just hope that I can get there. And it all starts with them up front, though.
Have you been surprised at the support that you've gotten here in the Rolla community for this team?
No, not really. That was part of the reason when I interviewed for the job. I've seen it from the other side as an opponent. And I knew that, there was some good football that's been played here, and that the people cared about the kids and the program. And it's not only football, it's all sports and all academics and band, and the community is very supportive of their kids. And, so it's just one of those things. It's exciting that our student athletes care about how the community feels, and they want to put on a good show for them.
Well, you get an awfully lot of attention for a high school player. How do you stay grounded?
Kind of just the way that my parents brought me up. They always told me that no matter what, just always stay humble, stay within yourself, and just count on all your other teammates and stuff like that, just to really come around you and just be a leader.
After the season's over, which hopefully is not yet, what's the one thing about this ball team that's going to put a smile on your face as a coach?
Well, they're just really fun to be around. They're constantly on each other. It's really enjoyable. You never get away with anything, so they're going to let you know about it. They're a lot of fun to be around, and just from my standpoint, being year two, how accepting they've been of not only me and my family, but my style and the way I want to do things. And, they believed, and we just keep growing and keep getting better. So like I told them the other day, we're really excited about what's going on, but right now is not the time to celebrate. And eventually we're going to have some fun and celebrate these wins. But right now we just want to keep focusing and moving on and trying to get better.
Thinking about when your high school career is over in football, what's the one thing you're going to take with you from your years of being a Rolla Bulldog?
Just the atmosphere and all the guys that are around me playing with me. It's just having them on my back and just having them as friends. It's just, I wouldn't want to be out there with anyone else, and it's just a great feeling.
Best of luck to both teams this weekend. Once again, it's a special Price Chopper Game of the Week doubleheader beginning Friday at 7 live from Rolla and continuing Saturday at 1 from O'Fallon. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Wacker, and I'll see you next time.